What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Sports Junkies Podcast. If you haven't already subscribe today to become a junkie. Prepare for some of this content, man. Not gonna lie to you, bro. Today's been like a crazy day. Okay, let me tell you why. First ever commercial space flight to space, right? We had that happen. Kanye announced his album will drop on Friday, and the Milwaukee Bucks have just won the NBA championship. What did I say? We're jumping into this one quick. What did I say in the last episode? I said the Suns had no urgency, and that showed tonight. Okay, and I don't want to get straight into the episode being negative, but I just got to call this out. Devin, the next Kobe Bryant Booker, went 8 for 22. 8 for 22. 0 for 7 from the 3-point line. 19 points. Are you joking? This is why this is why we've got to stop when it comes to, comparing the old heads to the new heads. Like, sometimes I feel like players should not be compared to anyone else. It's like I had a conversation with a friend about being a filmmaker, and he said his family would always compare him to, they say, you're the next Tyler Perry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be the next Tyler Perry. I want to be the next me. And Devin Booker is going to have to build his own legacy, okay? Because when he retires, people aren't going to be like, man, his game was just like Kobe Bryant. They're going to be like, nah, man, his game was like Devin Booker, okay? Chris Paul, still ringless. And I'm going to be real with you. I don't think he's going to get this chance again. And I made a comment on Instagram, and a guy said, well, you're not going to say that when he joins the Lakers next season, or he teams up with LeBron. And I'm like, all right, man, I guess, we'll dabble in that, when it happens, if it happens. But let's talk about the Bucks. That's, saying the Suns had no urgency. I said this last episode. You said, hey, I'm trusting the Suns, but you didn't have faith in them. I didn't have faith in them at all. Okay, I told you Suns in four straight losses, and that's exactly what happened. This man, we're not even gonna talk about the other guy yet. We're gonna slowly move up. Okay. Jrue Holiday, you have no idea. Maybe you do, how important and how much of an impact he has made for this Bucks team to win this NBA championship. It is absolutely insane the impact he came in and made. And I remember we had that little debate about this guy. You did backtrack last episode. But Chris Middleton, the disrespect, it won't happen anymore. It can't happen.
It can't.
It's done.
It can't.
Because no matter what you say about Chris Middleton, no matter how he's playing, he's got a ring on his finger.
Yeah.
He was holding, I know you saw him holding that trophy during the interviews, lifting it up. He wasn't sharing that around, man. I'm talking about clutch shot after clutch shot this entire postseason. It is fantastic, bro. It is fabulous. And like, I was thinking about this as time was ticking out, but there's an interview right before the postseason started where a reporter was talking to Giannis, and he said, Giannis, what's so different about this team that's going to allow you guys to change the outcome of recent years? And you know what Giannis said to him? He said, to be honest with you, I don't think there's going to be a different outcome, because this is when everybody was healthy. You had the Nets, you had the Lakers, right? And here he is. Here Giannis is, finals MVP. Let me just read off his stats. 50 points, 14 rebounds, free throws, 17 for 19 from the free throw line. You know, it's crazy that they won this game by 7 points. If he didn't have a good free throw game, they could have lost this game.
Right.
But he stepped up at the line. I told you that Giannis was playing in a different form that was just, the Suns weren't going to be able to win 2 in a row. Even if the Suns won tonight, they weren't going to be able to win Game 7. And we had that conversation earlier about this game being in Milwaukee, so you knew what was on the line. And the Bucks did not the Bucks did not disappoint. Giannis, man, I'm talking about one of the best performances I've seen from a player. He's just too dominant. And from now on, I know when to talk about certain players. Like, I learned my lesson with Tom Brady or whatever. But one thing I've learned now is when there's a player that is dominant, even when he's having a bad game or he plays a bad game, you don't you're light with it. And that's exactly why after game 1 and 2 I said, or was it game 1? I said this Suns team that we're seeing in game 1 and game 2, this is going to be the Suns team we see the entire series. Mm-hmm. And I said the Bucks have yet to show their best play, and they showed their best play and won 4 straight. It doesn't get any better than that, man. I love this story. I'm proud for Giannis. I'm proud for the Bucks. Sadly, Chris Paul isn't going to get that ring, but Chris Middleton, man. I'm talking that shot he hit at the end and put him up by 8. It doesn't get more cold than that, dude. It just doesn't. And Drew Holiday just clamping up on D. PJ Tucker dropped 0 points, dog. But his impact on defense just goes unknown. I mean, like I said, Kobe or Devin the next Kobe Bryant Booker 0 for 7 from the 3-point line. And I know I was almost done, but let me tell you what's the problem with the Suns. And this is something I wanted to mention last episode. They all, when you're around somebody long enough, you notice how you kind of pick up some habits. Chris Paul is known for flopping. Okay, he has flopped pretty much this entire postseason, and I noticed the Suns kind of all picked that up. There's like a point at the end of the game where Booker had I forgot who he did it. I think he did it on PJ Tucker, and he kind of did this flop, and it resulted in a turnover. And that's just not the way you got to play the game. You got to play the game with some urgency, man. And the Suns lost that after they went up 2-0 in the series. They thought they won this. You saw how they celebrated. They went on the parade after making it to the finals. This team had no urgency. You don't ever see someone celebrate a Western Conference Finals like that, or Eastern Conference Finals. Who celebrates a conference championship like that? The Heat didn't even celebrate like that. And they knew them getting to the finals was something that was probably going to happen once, in a decade. It's not something that's just going to happen, especially with the team they have now. So, lessons for the Sun, which we'll get into in another episode. This is really just about today, but there's a lot. There's really not much to work on with the Suns. But there's a mental piece that needs to be installed in that locker room. And I'm not trying to switch up on what I said about, because I still think Monty Williams is a great coach. I still think this team is dominant. But I think we can kind of piece together where it went wrong for the Suns.
I mean, that was a lot. It's a lot to touch on. First thing I'm going to touch on that Devin Bryant Booker comment. I'm not going to smoke that Devin Bryant Booker comment because Devin Booker said himself, he said, don't compare me to him because I'm not like him. It was the most respectful thing. I'm not going to smoke that pack because he said, you know what? I'm not like him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's almost disrespectful to be compared to him. For the Bucks, I mean, there's nothing you can say. There's nothing left to say about the Bucks. I mean, the Bucks, they stepped up, man. I mean, nobody saw this coming. To me, nobody saw this coming. I don't care if I knew no, you didn't. Nobody knew that the Bucks were going to be the ones to win the playoffs. It's beyond shocking. When Giannis got hurt, people were doubting. Everybody was doubting.
And the fact that Middleton and Drew stepped up when he was out against the Hawks and won 2 straight, that's just things you got to, this postseason run. I know they got past the Nets on injuries, but dude, you have to just piece together what all they did to make it to where they are right now. And it's incredible, man. I'm talking about full Hawks team with Giannis out. And you know how I was talking about Giannis is a generational talent where I feel like the team is literally him. He just, it's great to see the Bucks step up the way they did with him out. I mean, Bobby Portis even, I don't want to forget to mention Bobby Portis. I feel like he's adding new levels to that locker room. He dropped 16 points tonight. He dropped 16 points. I mean, the Suns hit just 6 threes, man. It's just absolutely insane.
I will say this though.
This Bucks team, especially.
For going back to the Suns, I will say that I don't really think it's I can see how you're saying it's a sense of urgency, but I'm going to stick with what I said last video, that to me, it's just making shots. It's just they got outplayed. If you look at the field goals attempted versus the Bucks versus Phoenix made 37 for 82. The Bucks were 38 for 86. You know what I'm saying? Like, first off, you fouled Giannis 19 times. Golly. You put that man at the free throw line 19 times? That's a lot of fouls. That's the first thing. And then two, man. Obviously I'm disappointed, but this honestly, the Bucks just really outplayed the Suns to me. Like you said, the Suns, they're the best they were going to be. We said that at the beginning. 4 straight losses in a row. The Bucks after game 1 they completely took Ayton away. It's not really something that the Suns could have done to me, except make your shots. But DeAndre Ayton went 4 for 12, 8 for 22. Booker, Chris Paul was doing Chris Paul. He scored 26 points. The thing that's different is, only thing the Bucks did was they just stepped up. All the games were close. I think there was one game that was an actual blowout. So it was really it was the Suns, like we said, they had to step up. They had to make that difference. I don't think there's much that the Suns could have done other than make your shots, which is any basketball game. But I think they honestly just got outplayed by the Bucks. They just got outplayed. You got to factor in a lot more than just saying they had to make their shots, because the reason they had to shoot so much is because in game 1, remember how we were talking about how dangerous the pick and roll was? The Bucks completely neutralized that. If you haven't noticed, Ayton has been pretty much almost completely taken out offensively as a threat, and since they've been able to take out Chris Paul, they've been able to take Devin Booker down, and it's more than just guys being able to make shots, because like I told you, like I said in the last episode, if Chris Paul is going to be the point guard, but he can't drop a good number of points to go along with it, and Ayton's not dropping 20 plus, how do you expect to win? But Chris Paul dropped 26. I'm not talking about this game. And even you're right. So Chris Paul dropped 26 this game. In the last game, Chris Paul dropped it. Chris Paul had one bad game in this whole 6-game series. Yeah, but you just saying. I'm saying they're getting outplayed. That's not a good rate. I'm not saying that they're not. I'm not just saying that they're. It's way deeper than. It's just way deeper than. They got outplayed. They completely neutralized the play style that the Suns had that was working. That's being outplayed. The Suns had no way to. Yeah, but that's not a real. That's not. Technically, everyone who loses is outplayed. You know what? No, but I'm saying the Bucks stepped up. That's why they lost those first 2 games, because the Bucks didn't step up. They step up. They got outplayed. That's exactly what happened. Well, they made good adjustments. That's being outplayed. But all right, okay. Saying outplayed is we're not really agreeing. The Bucks outsmarted them. They 100%. Outplayed them. There's nothing else that Phoenix could have done. There is nothing else that Phoenix could have done. They got outplayed. They simply just got out hustled, got outplayed. There's nothing else that Phoenix could have done. There's nothing else. There's nothing else. But this has just been kind of like a little short episode on Sports Junkies. We just wanted to kind of talk about what we just had with the playoffs. And until next time, guys, be sure to subscribe today to become a junkie. Make sure you guys check out the Instagram at Sports Junkies Podcast. And we just got some good content coming for you guys. So be on the lookout for that. Until next time. See you soon.